Okay, so the first thing that we're going to look at is Tesla, of course. I know everybody's looking at that flag, and guys, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, for the most part, this channel is for learning purposes, guys. I want us to get better at trading. I trade stock options. You may trade the stock itself. Whatever works for you. I'm just looking to improve my trading, so whatever feedback you guys give me, I'm more than open to. But let's definitely get some learning in and try to get better at our craft. The first thing I want to look at is Tesla. I know everybody's eyeing Tesla. As you can see on my chart, I've made a few highlights, and you can see these lines. And one of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure that you mark up your charts, draw those lines, connect those points, so you can start seeing those patterns and those trends that are forming. Of course, you want to take into consideration a bunch of other things such as volume, the moving averages, and a whole bunch of other things. But for right now, this exercise is really all about drawing those lines and looking for those patterns. So right now, for Tesla, I know everybody's looking at this in terms of this flag that's being formed here between this line and this line. And what I would look for is tomorrow in pre-market is look for either a drop or a move to a market low here. And once again, any feedback is welcome to help me out here. Any drop that you see towards this line right here, and I'll make sure that I highlight that you see it. So any drop that you see that once it hits this line, that's a good sign or a good indicator that you should consider entering that stock. I would say, let me draw, because I see these two lines here. I don't know if this makes a difference. I don't know if this is going to be a factor, but I'm connecting these 2 points here, and then I'm also going to connect these 2 points here. Now this may not be a factor. My main consideration is this line right here that I'm seeing that's forming a support for this price. So if it drops down to this line, then that's where you look for your entry. Next one we're going to look at is UPST. Now UPST, let me just move this here and get rid of this stuff. So now I'm just going to start connecting anywhere I see 2 points where I see a pattern forming. Right there you can see that break in the pattern, and you can see that drop, but you can see that it fought back for it. Here, this one and this one. So that's an opening wedge right there. This one and this one. Now I'm just drawing the line all the way through. And then I see this and this here. And then of course you have this huge resistance. It was a resistance previously, and then it turned into support line, and it tried to break that line, but it didn't break that line. So that's going to be, UPST is going to be a good watch for tomorrow. Let's look at AMD. So AMD, which had an excellent run for the month of September, but I'm just going to go ahead and delete most of these so you can. And if anyone's wondering, the tool that I use for my charting is TradingView, and a lot of traders use TradingView. So if you haven't looked into it, I highly recommend you use TradingView. So here I'm going to connect these 2 points. You can see the trend forming there. I'm going to connect, and let me connect this. There's not really a lot there. Let me also get some color coding in here just to kind of make it look a little bit better. Okay, that's fine. So here I'm going to connect this point and this point. So you want to mark these charts up as much as possible. So you can see this triangle that it's going into here. It's at the bottom. It's not at a high probability place for me. So, but it's a watch. I mean, it may bounce, but I would rather see it just make more moves towards the upside. And also, just to kind of make things a little bit interesting, let me add the moving averages. Okay, so you can see there, these are my moving averages. I have quite a few, and that's these little lines here. So I mean, it's showing upward movement. But let me see if there's something else that I'm not seeing, because I'm trying to make sure, I'm trying to do this, make this as visual as possible. Yeah, so there's, okay, I'm gonna have to move this one to a watch. It's not high on the list, but we should be looking at it. Okay, next one I'm gonna look at is Bill. Okay, Bill has an aggressive candle there. Let me delete that line. Let me connect. Okay, this is a trend forming there. Okay, that's the new base right there. And I'm gonna go here. Okay, so whenever I see a lot of intersections, I'm a big fan of those, because that lets me know that there's some forces in play that's moving those numbers around like that. Let's see here. Okay, so that's the line right there that's going to make a big difference for Bill. So it's aggressive, but if it breaks this line, it was previously a support line, and then it moved to a resistance line. If it breaks this line right here, definitely look into possibly getting to Bill. So these are all suggestions. So I'm not making any guarantees, but you definitely got to keep a close watch on these things, especially when you start seeing patterns forming. Okay, so this one I'm not even liking. I'm looking at TME right now, and I'm not even liking the way that it's looking on that downward trend. And then if I add the moving averages, you'll see that they're stacked on top of it. So that is going to be a no for me. Next one is PDD. PDD, once again, not an aggressive candle on that daily right there. That's a nothing looks promising there, and the moving averages are stacked on top of it. Crowd. Okay, kind of a pin bar forming there. Let me get the moving averages out of the way so that you can see it. Let me just turn off my moving averages, and let me get rid of some of these lines here. No, let me just clear the drawings. All right, and let's start drawing some lines here. All right, and so you see that triangle that's being formed there? That looks interesting. And I like to see if there's anything that's connecting, from way out, because sometimes that could influence the price. So there's a lot of forces at play, so you have to try to capture as many variables as you can. Okay, so like I said, my main point here is to try to get you into the exercise of looking for these patterns. And right here, you're looking for this breakout right here, which is, so on the break of this line right here, you're looking for confirmation. I know, I think I can't remember where I heard it, but I know it's not 1 day confirmation. Sometimes it's 2 days. That's the rule. So look for 2-day confirmation breaks of this line, and then once you have that confirmation, then you can look at possibly getting into that stock. So keep an eye on CRD. Another favorite that people love to throw around is Snow. And so let's just start drawing some lines here and seeing if we can start seeing some patterns. So this is more for my visual thinkers than anything else. And let's see if we can see some possible patterns that are going on here. So I'm personally trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong, or how can I optimize my trading. Definitely always a plus for me if I can improve my percentage of wins. And if you can improve your percentage even better, that's we're all here to learn. All right, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so I am not seeing a lot happening here. So that's a support line right there. Let me see if I can add. Let me see if I can add the ATR. So the average true range is going to tell you what the average range that the stock has moved, and that'll let you know if it's a strong mover or okay. This stock is it's a decent mover right now. It's 10, so that's like a $10 move there. So it could move. Looks interesting. So because it could make this run up to this point here. So remember, we're working things visually. Also, if I go ahead and add, let me see if I add pivot points. If that kind of confirms anything right there. So that's a pivot point right there, or that's an exit point. So if it bounces off this line, I would look to exit here, but then also right around this area, right around here, if it makes it past that first pivot point. All right, so let me turn that off. Okay, and just give me 1 second.